The Pennsylvania 500, presented by Pep Boys on TNT, is brought to you by Pep Boys. Help for your car is just a Pep Boys away. Pep Boys, we're car people. By Walmart, always low prices, always. By Stolichnaya Citrona Premium Malt Beverage. Tonight we drink Citrona. And by Subway, fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
Down to the final 25 laps here at Pocono Raceway. In the Pennsylvania 500, Sterling Marlin is the leader. He has led 99 of the 150 that we've run so far. And let's take a look at what has been a very eventful race to this point. We started a little after 1 o'clock Eastern time. And on lap 1, just off the first corner, Rusty Wallace and Steve Park got together. Then Park hooked into Dale Earnhardt Jr. Listen. Unbelievably hard crash as Park is driven into that inside guardrail, which fortunately gave way. After a few anxious moments of watching, Steve Park did climb from his race car, and he is fine. But boy, it gave us a scare for a minute. 2 hours to fix that, an hour and 5 minutes to fix that guardrail that Park hit. Then we raced for about 20 laps, and then the rain came. And we sat for 2 hours and 2 minutes under the red flag while the rain stopped and the track dried. This was just moments ago after a long green flag run. Jeremy Mayfield, lap 140, gets bumped by Jerry Nadeau, hits the inside wall off turn 3. And then at lap 148, Jerry Nadeau, we think a tire went down based on his actions when he got out of the car. And he clobbered the outside wall in turn number 2. And that's where we sit at the moment. They've cleaned up the racetrack. The field is getting the 1 to go signal. While not showing in those highlights, the story of this day has been that 40 car, the old Silver Bullet, out front early and often.
Now the last restart, Sterling Marlin got a pretty good restart on Bill Elliott, but I don't think Bill Elliott's going to let him get away with that this time.
Whatever he did the last time, Elliott is ready for it this time, I would think.
Jeff Burton has come back onto pit road on the 1 to go signal.
He has nothing to lose. You know, I started to say a little bit ago, the good news is that Jeff Burton did not go a lap down. Now the bad news is 27 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and he's going to restart 27th or 26th, depending on how he and John Andretti come off of pit road. Here's what Jeff Burton was saying to his crew as he came down the pit lane.
You guys have done a nice job today. We aren't going to get down about this. We'll go and pass as many as we can. We'll go home, and where we finish is where we finish. We've done a great job today.
There you go. Got to keep that crew pumped up.
Boy, they have done a great job, too. Came from 33rd. He was racing Bill Elliott for 2nd when the tire cut down. Matt?
Well, Jerry Nadeau walk out of the infield care center. First off, Jerry, any idea what happened?
No. First, my brakes went, and I don't know if that's what caused it or what, but the car just come around. I couldn't stop anyway. I hate I got into Mayfield there. I thought I was underneath him, and I couldn't stop, and I think he was lap down. I got in the back of him, and he wrecked, so I hate it for him. But I don't know. We had a good car going, but then obviously we couldn't stop, or what happened. We blew a tire. I'm not sure, but we destroyed the GP Dodge, and I hate it. We'll go to Indy next week and see if we can make it up there.
Jerry Nadeau joining Steve Park, Morgan Shepherd, Kirk Shelmerdine, Rusty Wallace, and Mike Wallace as drivers, and Jeremy Mayfield as those who will not finish the Pennsylvania 500. 24 laps to go. Bill Elliott, one more shot at Sterling Marlin.
Hey, Kurt Busch is right up on the back, Elliott, but he did, BP. Looks like Sterling got the jump on Bill Elliott.
Boy, he hit that throttle, and the way that Coors Light car ran. And Kurt Busch, 97, trying to get by Bill, trying to get alongside in turn 1. Can he do it?
Oh, he'll do it. He'll try to do it anyway.
Drives it on in there, but Elliott did too.
I knew Kurt wouldn't be afraid to dive down in there.
No, he's not afraid. Marlin, Elliott, Busch, Dale Jarrett, Ryan Newman, the top 5. Then Matt Kenseth is up to 6th, Kevin Harvick 7th, Tony Stewart 8th, Terry Labonte 9th, and Bobby Labonte 10th.
See, that's exactly what Sterling wants to see in his mirror, is that 97 giving Bill Elliott a hard time, and then he will make that lead a little bit longer. But 97 and the 9 work together a little bit. Maybe they can draft on by him.
Work together.
Boy, these are race cars.
What was I thinking?
Yeah. Just hit your marks, buddy, and you'll pull away.
Jeremy Mayfield has come from the Infield Care Center, Matt.
And Alan, Jeremy walked out, and you had a conversation with Jerry Nadeau. What did you tell him?
I'm not sure. He was heading out, but that's 2 weeks in a row he's gotten into us a little bit. We were already loose and struggling. I would have let him go, you know, and just tore a race car up. And, it's my fault. I was loose, shouldn't have been there, but that's 2 weeks in a row. He could have given me a little bit of a break. I bet he does next time.
There you go.
Well, Jeremy's okay. That's the good part of that.
Harvick there getting around the lap car. Johnny Benson in that 10 is a couple of laps down in 32nd place, so he's not a factor there up front. Elliott's hanging with him this time.
Well, like I said earlier, Elliott seems to be a little bit better the first 2 or 3 laps after the restart. And I think his only chance is to try to get beside him in turn 1 and drag race him down into 2, but that's not close enough to get it done right there.
Tony Stewart getting around the lap traffic. That's why he was so far to the right of the picture.
Kurt Busch ran across the white line going down in turn 1, shoved the car up the hill, and we saw he lost 5 or 6 spots before he could get the car back under control.
Darkness starting to fall here at Pocono. This race scheduled to go 200 laps, 500 miles. It will be shortened to 175 laps. And it has been all Sterling Marlin so far today. Mark Martin, his rival for the championship, pinned back in 16th place. He had to come onto pit road for an extended stop while they replaced a battery. He is on the lead lap, but he's going to lose a lot of points today if things finish as they are.
Oh, Kurt Busch went the corner very high that time. He's going to try that line, see if that's going to help him any.
40 cars getting off the corner awfully well. And I'm not sure if Elliott is shifting the same as Sterling. Sterling's doing a lot of shifting right now, twice.
And there you go. Mark Martin was 55 points behind at day's beginning. Right now he's 100 and a quarter back if he can hold his spot. He's going to gain one there on Michael Waltrip. That'll be 15th place. And he needs to gain as many as he can in these final laps.
Michael may take a look on the inside here. Nope, not going to do it.
Fans have all stayed. It's been a marathon day here in Pennsylvania. 6 hours and 20 minutes after this race started. They're trying to finish it up. 20 laps to go.
You got to take your hat off to Michael Waltrip for sticking it out. Not feeling well, but hanging in there and running in the 15th position.
And now, Derek Cope, smoke showing from behind his car.
He blew up because we see the flame in the exhaust pipe means he has turned the engine off, the ignition off.
Now, unless he pulls off the racetrack, he will not make it back to pit lane. Do you think, Benny?
It's going to be very difficult for him, too. He will take the apron. He might. Hopefully he will.
NASCAR is calling to his team to have him turn into an opening that is just past turn number 2.
All right, now, is there oil down in turn 1 as his leaders go charging down in the corner? Well, he took all 3 different lines, and here comes Elliott.
Here comes
on the
Bill
outside.
Elliott. Sterling Marlin with a little back-end wiggle in the corner. Elliott goes by to the lead. 19 laps to go. Not so fast. Here comes Marlin right back.
Side by side down in the tunnel corner, and Elliott takes the lead.
Listen to the fans roar. Bill Elliott back to the lead with the laps running out, Dave.
And this is a huge victory for their motor program, both the 9 and the 19, until he came to an early demise. Earlier this year, they both failed to finish because of motors. The engine shop, Charlie Seegers and Mike Hawkins, they worked hard to fix the problem they had in their oiling system in the motors, and it's lasted all day long, and Bill Elliott now blasts into the lead here at Pocono.
And that's where he had to do it, was turn 1. That's where his car was the strongest.
And look at that thing. Bill Elliott is driving it down in turn 1 so hard, the right front bottoming out. See the sparks from underneath that 9 car? Here goes Kurt Busch for second spot.
And before we go and say that there was something on the racetrack that Marlin hit to cause that wiggle, obviously his car's not handling like it was before.
No, it isn't. And Elliott is trying so hard right now. He's driving this car just as hard as he possibly can. And all of a sudden, Sterling Marlin is losing a lot of ground. Is something wrong with a 40 car, you reckon?
Something's up. Marty?
He has said nothing on the radio, guys, so they think nothing's wrong with the car. And once he got behind other ones, they think that he's gotten tight now, but he has said nothing. Tony Glover just continuing to say, hit your marks, do the best you can. There's still lots of time left in the race.
See that 9 car bottoming out down in turn 1? Old Awesome Bill is going for it.
Bill Elliott's last win was the season-ending race last November at Homestead, Florida. It was his first victory in a long, long time. Next race, next win, doesn't look like it's going to have to wait so long. Without question, that Elliott power move to the outside of Marlin is our Autotrader.com move of the race.
Got my vote.
Outside into turn 2, never lifted. Didn't give in. And so now Elliott stretching his advantage. Over now Kurt Busch, who's in second. Whoa, what's that? Oh, it's just a bag that's blown out of the grandstands. Jeffrey Bodine has just taken his car to the garage. Engine failure. Retired for the day. For Bill Elliott, he's won here at Pocono. Both races in 1985. This race, the July event, in 1988 and 89 as well. He led 26 laps in the June race here, but fell out with 20 to go with engine failure. Here today, he led from lap 10 to 25, but did not lead again until he made that move on Sterling Marlin at lap 157 of 175.
There's Mr. Newman.
And that engine is still, those pistons still going up and down.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we're past 400 miles now.
My hat's off to Larry Wallace on that one. Here we go. Here's what we're talking about. 9,300, 9,400. All day long.
You know, we're not going to know if it would have finished 500 miles because we're not going to get to that distance today.
I would have think it went even 100 miles.
But it gives us something to think about for next year.
Great job.
Yep.
If you turn the engine that kind of RPMs, you certainly don't have to shift.
Ryan Newman's an open wheel driver. He's not used to shifting.
Exactly.
In, out. That's how the gears work on those things, right?
A little tight there. Car pushed up the racetrack, lost a little bit on Dale Jarrett right there.
And again, missed the race for 4th place.
And Bill Elliott has got that Dodge in front, getting all that air on the car, and he is just pulling away from Kurt Busch and Sterling Marlin.
Go back and check up on Jeff Burton. Remember, was trying to pass Bill Elliott for second when a tire went down on his car at lap 146. Restarted in 27th place. Where is he now?
He's in 20th and trying to overtake Kenny Schrader for 19th. There we see the M&M's car directly in front of him.
17, nearly 18 seconds behind leader Bill Elliott. Last lap by, about a draw on lap times and speeds for Bill Elliott and Kurt Busch, so the interval stays the same. It's about a second and a half between the two.
Elliott still bottoming that right front, going down in turn 1.
Pretty impressive drive for that 97 today, Benny. 23rd to 2nd so far.
And the 97 car on a long run, I'm talking about 30, 35 laps, is the best car that I've seen today. But I don't know if it's going to have enough time. 13 more laps to go. I'm not sure he's going to have time to catch Bill Elliott.
His best finish here at Pocono, speaking of Kurt Busch, was 13th in the June race of last year. He only ran 67 laps 6 weeks ago here, got involved in an accident.